Hello, my name is Joel, and today I'm going to talk about why we need more accurate and positive LGBT representation. During the 1930s to early 1980s, Hollywood production code and code of practice for television broadcasters heavily restricted homosexual characters, depicting many homosexual characters as child molesters or portraying their deaths as violent or tragic. This convinced the American audience that the LGBT community only consisted of child molesters and villains. During the 1970s, LGBT representation slowly improved by them depicting LGBT characters with a lack of development due to them only appearing in 1 or 2 episodes. It was in the 1990s when LGBT popularity started to skyrocket, when the sitcom Ellen was the first show to have a main character be openly gay. It started the rise of more LGBT characters, including roles in shows including Will and Grace and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This also changed the public opinion of the LGBT community for the best. And in 2000 and 2010s continued this trend of LGBT characters appearing in media, within 2000 shows like The Queer as Folk, The L Word, and Glee, along with the 2010 shows like Shadowhunter, Pretty Little Liars, and Supergirl. A reason why we need more positive and accurate LGBT representation in media is because it can benefit public opinion towards LGBT people and how people understand and see LGBT people. Media was a critical thing during the 1980s to help people understand them and their agenda during the Stonewall riot in the 1980s. LGBT activists met with film executives to help discuss the depiction of LGBT characters in film and television. A specific example of how LGBT media representation has affected the public opinion is within the transgender woman community. Transgender women have been seen in movies and television shows as villains or psychopaths, such as in the movie Silence of the Lambs with the antagonist Buffalo Bill. In the article, the representation of trans women in movies and television talk about how those movies and televisions has reflected public opinions of transgender women. Things such as House Bill 2 exist because how the movies depicted them as dangerous and pedophiles, and how people believe that. Reason 2 why we need more accurate and positive LGBT representation is because it can also benefit LGBT people. More accurate LGBT representation can help people who are self-discovering themselves. A statistic by UNCL says that there are 11 million adults identifying as LGBT in the United States in 2020. Many people have used media to help discover themselves and discover who they are by watching television shows that depicted their sexuality. A lot of people use media as a way of help self-discovering themselves when there's no one else to turn to, and having a more positive and accurate representation could definitely help them figure out which type of identity they want to identify as and help shape the person that they are. An issue that still rises to this day regarding LGBT representation is how many people depict them and many tropes that they use. Tropes such as Bury the Gays, which introduces a gay character for 1 or 2 episodes and then kill them off. This gives the show writers and the show creators to say that they had LGBT representation in their show. Along with another show, Queerbaiting, which portrays 2 characters of the same sex to have some interest in each other, like you would have in a romantic couple, for the show writers to then not put them in a couple or reveal that they are not gay. Both tropes depict and treat gay characters as disposables. An example of the Bury the Gay trope in television is in the show Voltron Legendary Defenders. At a convention to promote the upcoming season, they revealed that one of their characters, Shiro, was gay and had a boyfriend named Adam. But during the season, we only see one interaction of a flashback of them breaking up, for then the showrunners to kill off Adam, with him only having a total amount of 2 minutes and 23 seconds of screen time. Along with a recent example of the Bury the Gay trope in television is in Supernatural. The final season, one of the characters, Cass, sacrifices himself to save another character, Dean, a pair that many in the fandom wanted to become a canon couple since their first interaction. While in this scene, Cass confesses himself to Dean that he loves him and then proceeds to die after pushing Dean out of the way of danger.
You changed me, Dean. Why does this sound like a goodbye? Because it is. I love you.
After that episode, many fans of the show went onto Twitter to debate if it was a platonic or romantic I love you. But a few episodes later, The character Dean then states that he saw Cass as a brother. The issue is that they either queerbaited the fans into believing that they were going to end up together and had romantic feelings to each other, or they buried the gay trope the fans by killing a gay character off after confessing his love to his love interest. A solution to this is to have more people who are screenwriters to help write a better depiction and accurate representation for LGBT people. We need to have more screenwriters for LGBT representation in a normative way, just like any other heterosexual couple. All LGBT people want is to be able to watch a show that reflects themselves and their identity, and not watch a show that only uses them to raise the ratings of the show. Along with LGBT people wanting their sexuality to be normalized and to help people who do not understand their sexuality. And even with those negative portrayals of LGBT people in the media, there was much more positive media that outshines the negatives recently. An example of a positive television show with positive LGBT representation is Shadowhunters, with the portrayal of the character Alec Lightwood, a gay Shadowhunter, and Magnus Bane, a bisexual warlock. The show portrays both of them as more than just their sexuality and display them with a healthy relationship between the two. Along with another show recently that came out is Adventure Time Disneyland Obsidian, portraying two of the characters, Princess Bubblegum, the ruler of the Candy Kingdom, and Marceline the Vampire Queen. In the original series of Adventure Time, they slowly showed the relationship between the two from when they broke up at first to at the end of the finale of them getting back together. And with Adventure Time Disneyland Obsidian, they show Bubblegum and Marceline doing domestic things that any couple would do. They show things like them talking through their feelings along with going through past trauma that they both had. Thank you for listening on why we need more accurate and positive LGBT representation in television and movies. After seeing the differences between the past 90 years in media representation, I'm excited to see what else could be done, and after seeing the tiny steps that we're making, I hope that I will be able to see more normalization in LGBT representation and less gay tropes that are harmful to the LGBT community.